me start with introducing a bit of myself. I'm based in the Netherlands, so you can hear English is not my native language. My name is Ariëtte Love in English, Ariëtte Loeffen in the Netherlands in Dutch. And on Facebook I use Ariëtte Love in the English Facebook account I have, and in the Dutch one, Ariëtte Loeffen in het veld, which means in the field. And I love that because we're working in the field. Heart Soulutions, that's how my enterprise is called, my business, if you will. And Heart Soulutions, you write with heart and soul. And all my services are about living from the heart, so your soul can radiate out the gifts you incarnated with and that you are revealing in this life. So the solutions are being found in the heart thanks to your soul. Your soul wants to blossom. Heart Solutions. And that's what New Earth needs. The work I offer, it's multidimensional based. It includes multidimensional services and tools. But for today, what I'm going to offer has to do with to really offer people practical tools you can work with instantly. They're actually very basic, very easy to apply wherever you are, even when you're in the car or waiting in the long lines in the supermarket or even in front of the supermarket. You can learn to apply them anywhere. And what I've noticed when I started to apply them is that it helps to turn back to silence. So that's where you find love, relaxation, where you can tap into the light, where you can tune into your heart's wishes and your soul's grandness, your mission. Love in times of chaos. We're being invited, so to say, to find our center in times of chaos. To stay centered or to return to our center. To build our center muscles, you might say, or our heart and soul muscles. So, I hope the tools I will offer will help you with that. They have to do with living in the now. So the power of now of Eckhart Tolle and many other spiritual teachers, that's what they teach, right? So they call it differently. Like Muji, he calls it isness, staying centered, finding your core again and again and again. So it's not about perfectionism, it's about tuning in time and time again in whatever circumstances. And if we allow ourselves to build those muscles, to strengthen those muscles, because we all have them, if we allow ourselves to do that, it becomes easier over time. Now, what I'm going to teach you is actually part of quantum entrainment, and I learned it from Frank Kinslow, and it was a healing modality. That's what I went for. But for me, I noticed that it's such an easy tool to use when, let's say, meditation using the breath is not easy for everyone. Because a lot of people, especially when you feel stressed, their breathing goes up. So they have a shallow breathing. And then when you say, Breathe through the belly, or bring your breath down to the belly. I've noticed quite some people, I was one of them, they're like, how do we do that? So their breathing, it's still shallow. So, and when your breathing is shallow, it usually is because you're stressed, which is normal, especially in these chaotic times. So how can we find stillness within? How can we tune into love when it seems too hard to do? And when your breathing is like here or here in your throat even, and you know it's better and you feel better when the breathing is low, but you're just too stressed out to be able to do that. So these tools are really especially tailored to help those people. But if you are a very advanced meditator, you're very good at meditating, you can also apply this. So I've been facilitating this course for many years to many people, and now I'm offering it here because I really want to give something that's very valuable and very effortless, and that you can take with you through the years. I offer many free gifts on my YouTube channels, and I will mention the English one, Heart Soulutions, Ariëtte Love, as well as through my website in the form of articles and videos. And probably in June we will open the membership area, and you can check out if it is a fit for you. Love in times of chaos. We're all yearning for love. We're all yearning for peace. We're all yearning for heaven on earth, new earth, 5D, at least the ones who are watching, I reckon. And some may not be, that's okay as well. But what happens when we are in fear, or when our environment is in fear and it triggers something in us, is literally, physically, is our muscles contract, right? So it also happens with the veins, the arteries. So you can feel this in your muscles, in your whole, maybe your legs, your arms, the breathing that becomes shallow. But it also happens here in our brains, in both hemispheres. And what is happening when our veins and our arteries contract, here too, like I said, is our brain literally gets less oxygen, and our perspective starts to narrow. You might have noticed. So your focus is like, how can I survive this? And maybe you haven't felt it like this, but when we are in panic state, that is where our focus is. Survival. And we can lose the bigger picture, the bigger perspective. And what I feel is important to, like I said, invite ourselves to broaden our vision again, our perspective. But if you're panicking, you might forget that that is what is needed. Or when you're in fear. Shall we just start with the first exercise? Because I can talk a lot, but we're hearing a lot of insights and perspectives. but I just want you to experience a few things. And please, 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 all that's needed is your openness and your curiosity. You don't need to move aside any skepticism, not ever, as far as I'm concerned. But next to skepticism, just place openness and curiosity. Okay? All right. So what you do first is just notice your whole body, your system. And you can close your eyes because a lot of the times it's easier to just notice how you feel. And because of your openness and your curiosity, you don't need to change anything. You're just open and curious, aware of what it is you can notice, even if it's tension, shallow breathing, you can measure it on a scale of 0 to 10. And when you're at 0, you're completely zen, you're completely relaxed. And when you're more towards the 10, the tension you notice is quite high. And then that's it. And keep your eyes closed. And then you bring your index finger, doesn't matter which hand, either to your forehead or your breastbone. Try to find a spot where you can touch bare skin with your index finger. And then you bring your awareness and curiosity into the point of your index finger, where it touches the surface beneath it, so the skin. Really, really bring your awareness here. Just notice the pressure. Just notice whether you're pushing hard or touching very light, without changing anything. Notice if you can feel the temperature exactly in this point, this small area where the index finger touches the skin beneath it. Maybe you can notice whether the skin beneath your index finger is rather dry or feels a bit moist. And don't worry if you can't notice any of these things. Just bring your awareness in that area where they touch. This is where your curiosity now is. Are there any other things you notice when your awareness is here? Maybe you can feel a pulsating of the blood that flows here, the area beneath it that you touch. And then put your hand on your lap again. And simply become aware of what you feel right now, how you feel, how the body feels, how the breathing is. If you use that same scale again of 0 to 10, where would you say the tension is right now? Has it risen? Or does it feel a bit lower on that scale? And that's it. Thank you for being curious and open. I love that trait in people, curiosity. And you might have noticed that something starts to change when you apply this. And it might be minor. It's not about the hugeness of a shift or a change. It's about noticing whether there is a change. All right? Even if it's like this. In the courses, I used to start with other exercises, that create an opening for the mind to go through a minor shift in the beginning. Because of the time, I'm now deliberately making the choice to dive in immediately and just see what happens. It's all good if you don't notice anything, then maybe this is not for you. So don't think you're doing it wrong or that the tool is worthless. Sometimes there's just not a match. But if you're still curious and open and want to try another experiment, let's just continue. So we've just used one finger, right? What we're going to do now is use 2 index fingers. I'm going to sit in a different spot. So again, you start with closing your eyes and simply noticing how you feel. And just be open and curious to whatever comes into your awareness. See if you can allow anything to just be in this moment. And we're always doing our best and trying to do things. And at this very moment, we're just trying to experience, to be a bit more with whatever comes into our presence. And again, you can measure the tension on the scale from 0 to 10. And then leave it be. And then your index finger of your right hand, you bring to your upper leg, right upper leg. All of your curiosity, your awareness, you now bring into that point the very point, the very tip of your index finger, where it touches your upper leg. So notice if the pressure is high or whether you barely seem to touch your leg. Without needing to change anything. See if you can notice what it is the index finger touches. So maybe it's a fabric, pants or a skirt. Maybe you touch bare skin. And just see if you don't move the index finger, if you can still feel the surface beneath it, or the fabric, the material, the tissue, whatever it is you touch, the skin. And if you can notice, what do you notice exactly? Does it feel smooth and soft, or rough, spiky even? I don't know. And you are just open and curious. Maybe you can notice the temperature. Does it feel warm or cold? Something in between, or can you conclude, I don't feel anything at all? Which is fine. It's about your awareness in this point where the finger tip touches the surface beneath it. Now really bring your full awareness here. More than you already did, and see if you can notice anything I haven't mentioned yet. And then leave the finger here while you bring the other index finger, so of your left hand, to the left upper leg. So the tip of this index finger now touches the leg beneath it. And again, you just notice what it is. You can feel then. You can sense. What is the pressure of the finger touching the surface beneath it? How big is the part of the index finger that really touches the upper leg? Is it a small part of the index finger? Which part is it exactly? Be curious. That's really all that is needed, curiosity and openness. What is the temperature exactly in this meeting point of finger and leg? Can you notice? Can you just be aware whether it is something you can notice and measure? Maybe you can feel the pulsating of the blood through the small arteries here. And then you bring your awareness into the meeting points of both index fingers touching the legs. So you now have your awareness in both index finger tips. Can you feel the pressure of both index fingers on the legs? Maybe you notice a difference. Just become aware of what it is you notice. Doesn't have to be the same. It's about your awareness. Can you notice the fabric or the skin that you touch? How does it feel? And can you even notice it when you don't move your fingers? Just be open and curious. It's an experiment, remember? It's not about the result or doing something in a good or bad way. Can you bring your awareness in both tips where they touch the legs, and then see if you can feel the pulsation of the blood flowing through these areas. And now, as you keep your awareness in these areas, you also bring your awareness at the same time to your whole body. Notice how you feel. Become aware of if it's the same as before you ever began this exercise, this experiment. Or if the tension is higher. If the breathing is the same. Or if you notice a deeper relaxation, even if it's minor. How is the head, the neck, shoulders and arms and fingers? And maybe your fingers feel more tense because you're keeping in here on this spot, both legs. Your awareness is still there and in the body as well. While scanning the body now, the whole chest and index fingers, the whole belly, lower back, your hips, whole area, both upper legs, knees, shins and calves, ankles and feet, and all of your toes, and both index fingers where the tips touch the surface beneath them. How is your body, your whole system feeling right now? You can put your hands in your lap or on both legs again if you so wish. And just notice your whole body. Now, even if it's a slight lowering of the tension, it matters. Let me come closer. I really truly believe and experience that our reality is co-created from within, and that our heart is a vital part in that. So we need to grant ourselves the opportunity to dive into the heart, because otherwise we can't create from there, right? Otherwise we cannot tune into the wisdom that's easily available when we are centered. It's one of the ways that has been vital for me. Another one is grounding daily, especially in these times. I'm in the woods at least twice a day, literally connecting to nature, literally expressing my gratitude to the beauty that I'm allowed to enjoy day in, day out. I'm thanking the sun and the stars, the cosmos, all beings that live here and wherever. That has been a vital part too. Gratitude, I mentioned. So there are many tools. This was what wanted to come through here now. If you have been helped by this, if you are curious and open to find out what my other offerings are, which are more in the area of Krystal light codes, Krystal light codes, which has to do with tuning into Christ consciousness, Krystal consciousness. I work with crystal spiral frequencies. I do individual sessions in person and online, also with couples, grown-ups and children. I offer spiritual mentorship, membership area. It's about to come. I'm sure the spiritual retreats and journeys will be organized again somewhere in the future. Let's see, what else? Yeah, YouTube, a lot of videos, transmissions, activations, guided meditations, sacred poetry as well. Blogs. I have a Facebook group, Krystal Light Codes, Krystal Light Codes, and a Facebook page, Heart Solutions, Ariëtte Love. You're very welcome to check out both. Let's see, I mentioned YouTube, my website, heartsolutions.com, which is with heart and soul, Instagram, yeah, do feel free to reach out after this video if you have any questions or remarks. I'd love to hear your feedback on how this has been for you. So please share if you wish to do so. Thank you so much for your curiosity and your openness, your presence and awareness. I truly, truly feel, believe, and maybe I can even say know, those are vital parts of creating a new earth. Truly. Be blessed, be safe, be healthy, and tune into love whenever you can.